Hello students, hope you all are doing great. In our previous lecture on BHU, we had seen seat distribution according to departments, what is the cutoff, etc. While going through the seat distribution, you might have come across a category called EWS. Had you wondered what EWS would be? Yes, you might have. So to clear any of the doubts pertaining to EWS, I'll be lecturing on it today. So let's get started. GT selection and EWS category, economically weaker section. Of the FAQs which the student might get with respect to EWS. What is this EWS quota? What are the fulfilling criteria to become eligible under EWS? How and where is this EWS certificate to be obtained from? Can OBC, SC and ST categories apply for this EWS quota other than general category? Is this reservation applicable for state government colleges as well? How much is the reservation being enforced in All India quota under EWS? How many seats are being reserved under EWS in central universities? What is the cutoff range for general EWS category? For all of this, I would like to answer in this lecture. Starting with about EWS, then moving on to seat distribution among the national institutes, then following up with cutoff analysis pertaining to AIAPGET 2020, and at the last we will see what is the eligibility criteria with respect to income and asset for EWS category. EWS, economically weaker section. It is a subcategory belonging to economy-based unreserved category having an annual family income less than 8 lakh and not belonging to any other category such as SC, ST or OBC. Seat distribution. The seats under EWS category are being reserved only in central universities or national institutes and not in any of the state government colleges under All India quota. To it, we would see the general reservation criteria for All India quota. Notice dated 17th of August, it has been decided by the ministry to implement 27% OBC reservation and 10% EWS reservation in 15% UG and PG All India quota seats. Consequently, the overall reservation in 15% UG and PG All India quota seats would be as follows: SC 15%, ST 7.5%, OBC 27%, EWS 10%, PWD 5%. I have highlighted with respect to EWS as 10%. So in the 15% All India quota, 10% of the seats are being reserved under EWS. How is it bifurcated among central universities? So 10% of seats in national institutes under EWS category for All India quota have been bifurcated as follows. In BHU, 2 seats out of 24 seats. In All India Institute of Ayurveda, 3 seats out of 38 seats. In National Institute of Ayurveda, 5 seats out of 44 seats. In IPGTRA, 3 seats out of 28 seats. This is adding up to a total of 13 seats out of 134 seats being reserved under EWS category out of the 15% All India quota. On to cut off according to last year's AIAPGET 2020, will go institute wise. In the round 1, rank 75 in BHU for Shalakya Tantra. In BHU, rank 235 for Kriya Sharira, 458 for Shalya Tantra and 598 for Kriya Sharira. So both 458 and 598 ranks in BHU under internal quota. Next, coming on to All India Institute of Ayurveda, rank 95 for Prasuti Tantra Evam Stri Roga, rank 122 for Kaya Chikitsa, for rank 177 for Shalakya Tantra. Coming on to National Institute of Ayurveda, rank 136 for Prasuti Tantra Evam Stri Roga, rank 183 for Kaya Chikitsa, rank 271 for Ayurveda Samhita Evam Siddhanta, rank 291 for Swastha Vritta, rank 310 for Rasa Shastra Evam Vaishajya Kalpana. Coming on to IPGTRA, rank 203 for Kaya Chikitsa, rank 238 for Dravya Guna, rank 241 for Shalakya Tantra. This was about round 1. BHU, in BHU, rank 310 for Kriya Sharira. Uh, in National Institute of Ayurveda, rank 271 for Kaya Chikitsa, 291 for Ayurveda Samhita evam Siddhanta, 341 for Rasha Shastra evam Vaishajya Kalpana, 390 for Swastha Vritta. Coming to IPGTRA, rank 241 for Dravya Guna, 297 for Kaya Chikitsa, 309 for Shalakya Tantra. This was about round 2. Coming to round 3, in BHU, rank 390 for Kriya Sharira. In National Institute of Ayurveda, rank 406 for Ayurveda Samhita evam Siddhanta, rank 488 for Swastha Vritta, rank 621 for Rasha Shastra evam Vaishajya Kalpana. In IPGTRA, rank 310 for Shalakya Tantra. This is about round 3. In round 1, under BHU, ranks 75 and 235 got allotted in All India quota, and ranks 458 and 598 under BHU internal quota. In All India Institute of Ayurveda, rank 930, 95, 122 and 177 in first round. In NIA, ranks 136, 183, 271, 291 and 310 in the first round. In IPGTRA, ranks 203, 238 and 241 in the first round. Coming to second round, in BHU, rank 331 got allotted. In NIA, rank 271, 291, 341 and 390 got allotted. In IPGTRA, ranks 241, 297 and 309 got allotted. Coming to the third round, rank 390 in BHU. In NIA, rank 406, 488 and 621 got allotted. In IPGTRA, rank 310 got allotted. I have highlighted some of the ranks for you. Rank 598 was the least rank to get allotted in BHU under BHU internal quota. Likewise, rank 390 was the least rank to get allotted in BHU under All India quota, EWS category. In All India Institute of Ayurveda, 177 was the least rank to get allotted. In National Institute of Ayurveda, 621 rank was the least rank to get allotted. In IPGTRA, 310 was the least rank to get allotted under EWS category. So this was about the cutoff analysis and till what rank according to the central universities the seats got allotted under EWS category. In short, BHU has 2 seats, All India Institute of Ayurveda has 3 seats, NIA has 5 seats and IPGTRA has 3 seats reserved under EWS category. We have come to know the number of seats getting allotted under this category and till what rank it had got allotted last year. Coming on to the eligibility criteria, at the start of the lecture we had seen it is only applicable for unreserved candidates, and other categories like OBC, SC and ST can't be applying for EWS category. Those of your candidates have to satisfy 2 of the other criteria. Those are, one is income and second is asset. On to income, the family's gross income must be below 8 lakh for the last financial year. The income here includes from all possible sources like salary, agriculture, business, etc. And family here shall include both the person seeking the benefit of reservation as well as his or her parents and siblings. This is about income. Assets: agricultural land of not more than 5 acres, residential flat of not more than 1000 square feet, residential plot of not more than 900 square feet in notified municipalities, and 1800 square feet other than the notified municipalities. This was about assets. So for a unreserved candidate, they have to satisfy both of the income and assets criteria to get eligible for EWS category. From where to get the EWS certificate done? We've got a local Tahsildar office, sub-divisional magistrate or SDM office, district magistrate or DM office. All of these three government officials are authorized to issue the EWS certificate. Now we have got to know the eligibility under EWS category and how the EWS certificate could be done. This is how a EWS certificate looks like. It has got the mention of which state government, the certificate number, valid for the year, and it has got the credentials of the candidate and the clause to be satisfied, and there will be seal of the office from which the candidate gets the EWS certificate from. So this is about EWS certificate. By now, at the start of the lecture, we had seen a few FAQs to be answered. By now, I feel I've answered all of these queries with sufficient data. It is time for me to conclude the session for today. Before concluding, we all know a magnifying glass. What does it do? It magnifies the minute things which is necessary for us. In other words, it blurs the things around it. This must be the perception for our aim. Focus on your aim and blur everything else. With this, I'd like to conclude my lecture for today. Thank you.